Oh, I've been here this entire time. Didn't know. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live stream. If you want to know, this is my office hours where I come hang out, show you guys kind of my process, and answer any questions that you guys have. If you've been following me, you know I've been working on these crawler robots, which I have been adoring. They will be open source pretty soon, but I need to figure out some of the issues. So today, you guys can come in and ask me questions as I work on some of those things. I mostly today will be working in Fusion 360, so if you have any questions, you can happily ask. But yeah, it's going to be a cool hangout time, and we'll just do our best. All right, let me switch over to Fusion. You guys recognize this guy? This one's technically the one on my head right now. So this is the comic crawlers, but today I'm also going to be working on new head designs because, of course, I have like a basic dome design, like a normal one, but I also have one I did for my own work, and then, of course, the one for work. But we're going to work on some new head designs, and I'm going to make a copy of this and start doing some other designs with it. Let's see, it's the basic dome. Also, I do warn my design style is ridiculous and not very well trained. So I kind of just make stuff up as I go. But happy to have you all here along with me for this strange adventure. So, fun fact, one of the main reasons I designed this robot in the first place, mainly to teach myself how to like design better robot type of things. I've actually never really made anything crawl with servos in this manner, like hexapod, quadrupod. I've always used like the clan mechanism is definitely one mechanism that I use to make things crawl, or like simple servo movements with gear shifts and things. So this is my first time. I was just like, hey, I want to make something that's like a hexapod, quadrupod. And I went online and saw a whole bunch of them, but they're either really dated or really hard to follow. And I was like, it's the 21st century. This shouldn't be that hard. Personally, when I get frustrated, I just make it into a project. So I got frustrated and turned it into a project. And here we are. So for this one, I kind of want to go another dome shape, like a roundish shape that's a bit bigger. One of the issues that I've been running into with this is definitely battery power, because these run on lithium-ion batteries pretty much, which is pretty great. But also, I need to make them a bit bigger before I can actually make them work on AA batteries. That way, if someone wants to power the AA's, or for like a class or something, they can. Let's see. Do you need something background, something like AutoCAD to design these robots? Not really. I mean, I don't really have a background with like AutoCAD. I kind of taught myself during school. When I was in college, they had AutoCAD for free. So I took AutoCAD for free at the time with my school email and just started playing with it. I had no real idea what I was doing, to be honest. It was just like playtime for me. And it turned out to be pretty well. But anyone can really do it with enough time. And patience. You gotta be patient with yourself, though. That's the hard part. So this one has a big dome. Because like I was thinking about a design like this, because then if when the legs point up, it'll fold better into the body. And it also gives me a lot of room to like keep stuff in the head. Like I was even gonna make like a little hatch that way people can like put snacks or whatever in the robot's head and see how it can climb or crawl. This is still just a theory, though, because you have to think of, like, the weight distribution system of it all is still something that we need to, like, work on and I need to try to fix. But we're getting somewhere. So I'll make this a bit taller. I'm going to need some designs on it, of course. We'll do it this way. And if people have been following me for long, you know that I'm very much big on the whole single eye robot. I always like having my robots that have two eyes if I can deny it, because two eyes is still too human to me. Even the other creatures and animals have two eyes. But for me, Single eye, best way of doing it. Looks creepy, gets the job done. Looks cute sometimes too. I'm gonna actually change the appearance of this because I want the color to be different. Oop. See, that's a better color, right? Yeah, this gives me more room to like put batteries or snacks or something in it. And this is about 181 millimeters. Not too bad. I'm really hoping when I finally sit down and like write all this up and make videos, because I'm gonna have to make 2 videos on like assembly. People will have choices of which parts they want to print. Like, hey, do you want flat feet or do you want pointy feet? Do you want a circle size head or do you want a square size head? Do you want this or that or this or that? I want people to have options. I guess that's the hopeful goal for the future, anyway. Actually, before I do that, I should probably. Ooh, that's the wrong part. Where is the basic normal dome? Normal lid. Oh yeah. So I can kind of see what I'm working with. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to make a new lid too, which is fine. I mean, you know, it is what it is. It is definitely much bigger. I'm probably gonna try printing this out probably tonight. That way I can kind of see if this works or not. A lot of my work is pretty much just trial and error. And more error. I do more error than trial most of the time. It's just with the internet, you guys only see my good side where things somehow work. Which, I'll be honest with you, a lot of times things don't work out. I have a lot of projects that like have not done well. Sorry if I just sound like I'm rambling. This is actually how I work by myself. I just talk to myself constantly. Gets the job done though. So I can kind of like see what's happening. Yeah, that's a fun design, right? And then this way, when the feet fold up, they'll hit the head, and now make a little nice, easier to carry pattern. Like this one's nice too. Don't get me wrong, but like bigger head, be more like a cup holder type of situation. That's what I'm going for. For this one, anyway. I have another one that I'm going to be designing as well. That's going to be a bit different. I recommend making stuff move. If you're gonna just start working in robotics or like the first step into getting into robotics, I definitely recommend the basic, like the Arduino examples, like getting a servo to move, that type of thing. It sounds like really basic, but like honestly, once you are able to get things to move, then things get a lot easier. Like being able to get a servo to like rotate 30 degrees, 90 degrees, 0, 180, and then using that to do other stuff you can expand upon. And it's not going to be cut and dry though. It's still going to take a lot of hard work and again a lot of patience. It shouldn't be that long. Yeah, okay. The main point of that is just to make sure you have patience with yourself, because that's a problem a lot of people have, where like they want to rush in and just suddenly be a master. That's not how it's going to work. I'm being reminded through my own Facebook recently, where I've actually been doing this for about 7 years now, and I've only been good at it for like 3, maybe 4. The rest, I was just my old work. Especially if I start sharing that more on the internet, you'll be like, "Wow, yeah, definitely got better." But at the same time, those early designs are rough. Oops, I messed up the C pattern. That happens. Yeah, I'm trying to do more streaming because of just everything. Like long form videos are take more time, and since I'm usually making stuff like from the ground up and all brand new, I usually don't have that much time to like record everything. And then sometimes I get to such a flow state I guess such a flow state where I just kind of like forget that everyone else exists, and I have to have people be like, "Hey Jay, don't forget to do this," or to tell you to record everything, which I feel very strange recording all parts of my life because I have moments where I'm just like sitting around doing nothing or like picking my nose or something, and I'm just like, I don't want that to happen on camera. It's kind of awkward. But then I have to explain that to an editor or something, like, hey, can you edit that out or something? And then like, oh, and also like I have to do my own editing, which I do my own editing right now, which is fine, but it takes forever, and also it's just not a fun thing to have to constantly do. Usually you can hire an editor, but that's still like money I don't like have. But hey, if you guys want like long format videos, just bother Digikey. Tell them that you want more long form videos of Jay messing with robots and testing to see if it can work. I do have a few more fun projects in the background that I'm trying to work on. I want to make something fly, but first I want to make sure I master crawling. Digit was the hardest one because Digit folds so much that him crawling was a lot tougher to tackle. So these small crawlers were a lot easier to make in comparison to him. But also, I still have to. What's that do? I want to make something fly by the end of the year because I haven't really learned about drones much. And then I also want to make like a really big crawler project. That way I can like, I want to say master or like just test myself. Know that like, yeah, I know how to make something crawl now. Think of it as like a weird exam that I like to like give myself. Which is weird because school is weird, but hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Besides, taking on projects that you haven't done before it's frustrating at first, I'm not gonna lie, but now that I have an understanding of it all, it's 110% worth it. Seems like a nice smooth design because like I can always remove this, turn it to something else. But then you also got to think about the other artistic aspects of the design, which I know a lot of people don't really think about. Since my background is literally in art, I often think about, oh, how I'm going to make this look cool, because I don't want it to just be functional or even somewhat useful. I want it to also look good. So, as my friend Sean would like to tell me sometimes, I'm a one-man Imagineering team. But that's why I'm always looking to try and like find new ways to improve and do better. Ooh, yeah, that's a good look, right? Let's see. Fusion 360. I haven't used SolidWorks. I've been told to use SolidWorks. I actually may use SolidWorks in the future. Let's make it a hopeful thing. But I haven't used it yet. I probably should one day, but not yet. Basics. I'm at that point now where it's kind of like once you understand how something works, unless I have to learn another system, I don't want to learn another system. That's a cool little design, right, guys? What do you guys think? I'm also making sure not to go overboard with it because if you go overboard with the design, sometimes bad things can just be crazy. What's the last meetup? Can't wait to see your next iteration. Which meetup was it? If it's the one in LA, then yeah, I missed that one. It was like this past Thursday, I think. I'm preparing to take these little crawlers with me to inspire small humans at First Robotics, and I needed to get this done, so I've been like stressing about that. Um, so I haven't had time to like go out and like do my normal stuff because I do enjoy going out to like maker meetups in LA, but at the same time, I can't always attend and I have to like do work and stuff. Priorities, people, priorities. And I just realized I was just designing on the wrong area. Gosh darn it! No wonder that came out weird. Why don't you guys tell me I was designing on the wrong file? No, it's fine. Wrong body anyway. Yeah, take some time. Turn it off really quickly if I can grab more stuff. But yeah, don't worry. The next meetup I go to, I'm probably gonna have Digit with me and one of the crawlers. because if people don't know, I've currently made 4 of these. This one's of course my work one. Hoping to get help with making it radio controlled, because right now, like I said in my video, all they do is basic movements. But I really want to upgrade them for they can be radio controlled as well. So I want people to be able to have, like, customizing a character. I want you to be able to have multiple choices of how you want this to work. Do you want it to just move randomly, like I do with mine, or you want to radio control it? I want that to be possible, depending with boards and stuff. Ironically, this is my first project in a while where I'm actually doing the open sourcing of it, because I feel like I haven't made an open source project in a while, so I was like, I need to do that. I guess that works. Yeah. Take this. I also have a whole bunch of friends who work in the prop industry and stuff for movies in LA. And this would be a cool little thing they could build if they need like a sci-fi prop in the background or something along those lines. Sometimes you gotta give back to the endless well of information known as open source projects. This is my way of doing it. It does a few different things, and yes, it does use servos. These use 180, 960 servos. This one being used by the one currently on my head is using I believe BF Robot ones. But currently it walks around, dances around. I have program movements already involved into it, but I want to expand upon that in the future. When electronic wings competition starts. I'm not sure of electronic wing competition. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you elaborate? You mean when I finally sit down and start working on something that can fly? I'm hoping to get that started by at least June or July. Probably July, honestly, if I'm being honest with myself. I need to first. I'm the type of individual that's like I need to first make sure I understand one subject before going to the next subject. I see it as like what's a good way example? Oh, like a college course. You spend one semester doing one thing, and the next semester doing another thing. So like this semester is all about crawling robots, 4 legs, 6 legs. Maybe do a giant caterpillar and give it 9 legs in the future. I'm like I shared in my video. I'm using the Adafruit Feather Wing and also the Feather Servo Controller that has 8 servos per board, but you can stack those. So maybe one of my coworkers was saying I could like turn it into like a whole bunch of like caterpillar legs, like a caterpillar robot. Textbooks for beginners. Very good question as well. That's a good one. Make has a whole bunch of good ones, like Make Electronics and things like that. I got started with my making journey through the Make magazine when I first started doing more artistic work. But for engineering, I definitely say, at least from what more I do, is more mechanical engineering, I want to say, or robotics. So I definitely look up more books along those lines. But it's weird. Once you understand the basics of science, especially of like electronics, like current control, mechanical movement, programming, things get easier. So I would say start small with just like basics of like robotics. Like I said, Make Magazine has a whole bunch of good stuff for that, good projects for that. Personally, I'm a big project learner. Like I pick a project and I just try to test it out. But I do recommend doing the examples for like Arduino. Like Arduino has a whole bunch of like example libraries you can just go to and click, and they show you how to like do certain basic stuff. So like the example for servo sweep will teach you how to move a servo, and then there's like an example for blinking an LED, which will teach you how to like blink LEDs, and then you can go up from there and then like add on those things. Like make a servo sweep while an LED is blinking, or make a servo move left to right, and then have the LED turn on when it gets done doing that. So there's different ways you can go upon learning those skill sets. Okay. Oh, I gotta make sure I add the antennae for this too, because definitely needs an antenna. Very important to add the antenna area. Antenna holder. B. I always make extra of all my parts when I'm designing something because I'm always afraid I'm going to mess something up, and I don't want to have to go all the way back. Also, adding on to that last rant of just where it started, a lot of good people like I remember when I was first getting into like 3D designing, I was doing cosplay props for friends. A lot of my friends back then did a lot of cosplay, so like back then 3D printing was still like a brand new thing before people even made the Iron Man armors of today and things along those lines. So what I ended up doing was helping them with their projects, which in turn ended up helping me get better at CADing and learning how to design stuff with Fusion 360. Though I will admit I'm not the best at CADing designs. Like I know I have friends who do Blender way better than me, but it is what it is. I'm never going to be perfect at everything. I can try to be, but it's not going to happen. Also, got to figure out where I'm going to put the power buttons for this design. I've been using these really big power buttons, like the ones on this guy, which is like perfect and stuff. But like, they are pretty big. So I need to like figure out which buttons and switches to use for that. But we'll get to that next. But that's one head. It may be too big. I don't know. I'm going to test it. Probably going to try printing it this weekend before flying out to Texas. We'll see if I have the schedule for it. But pretty much it's like a giant cup. But the idea is it being bigger. That way I can actually hide the legs better. That's one head. I'm actually going to dome two. We're going to turn those parts off for right now. And then put the original dome back on. Make another copy of that dome. This. Next, I want to do a square one, mainly for the fact of some robots look cool being squares. What can I say? I was also told to do a cone one, so I may do a cone later today as well. A pointy head one. Honestly, making one of these with like a mushroom head would be kind of adorable now that I think about it. Because then it could be like a very like cosplay like forest creature-y thingy. I may do that later. Let's see. Anyone's just joining the stream? Hi, hello. Don't be afraid to ask questions while I'm here. This is my office hours. You can come in and ask whatever you want, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. I am very bad checking my DMs. I do apologize for that. It's just the thing with me. The same way people are bad texting back, I am really bad looking at my DMs. Ah, scary. But, oop, too much. I want to press and pull this out a little bit. Oop. Too much. Okay. Do I want it to be round on the inside? What do you guys think? Do it needs to be round? Probably not. Oh my god, a cup holder. Actually, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. A cup holder head? Oh, that could definitely work. I may do that. I'm quickly going to take some quick measurements really fast of this little coffee cup from this morning. Uh, for a cup holder, it should be about 74. Okay, 74, 75. Yeah, that could work. Let's see, how big is this diameter? Actually, it's a perfect size for a cup holder. Who knew? Cup holder would be funny. But then I can't put the electronics anywhere because the body's too small to carry the battery. So a cup holder wouldn't work. Sorry, internet. Cup holder wouldn't work because design errors and physics. Someone needs to create like a super small forever powered battery. Someone, not me. And people, as people have known me, I have accidentally caused many fires, and my electrical engineering skills are not the best. I've had so many problems with electrical engineering of recent. Dun, 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 dun. And then we'll just, yeah, now we have a box. Fix those up. Of course, I need to color code it. I'm very much on the color coordination when it comes to things like this. We'll go with green this time. Yay, green square. Okay. Next, we got to go for artistic design. I've been watching this new Gundam series, which has a square-headed crawling robot, so that's why I kind of want to make one inspired by it. That way, when people decide to do this, they can decide on how they want to design their comic crawler. You can have different designs, different stuff like that, and it would be cool. It's always going to be cool. If it's not cool, we'll just blame somebody else. That. So, ooh, wrong way. Okay, that's not gonna work the way I thought it was gonna work. What happens? Hope everyone's enjoying their Thursday. You know, I kept thinking today was Friday, which I'm kind of happy that it's not. I still have a whole bunch of stuff I have to do. Also, if you're wondering how this robot's sticking so well on my head, I have no idea. Okay, not too bad. Get off, but and then faces. Boom. Boom. I usually go for a middle eye. I think I may keep that one in this design as well. Where did I put it in this? Oh, probably number 10. Perfect. See? Magically fits. Bit pointy, I think. I think I've seen that be done before. There was a Fowler crawler project not too long ago where it seeked the sun. I remember this, but I think you can look it up. But that was actually like a thing that actually like happened, and that was an actual project a while ago. I remember it because I remember being super jealous at the time because it was super cool and I just did not have the skill set for it. You're wondering why I'm designing it this way, just because I think it'd be funny to have one of these things that actually has like a latch for a head, and then have it be like able to hold stuff. Because then you can actually put the battery and stuff on the bottom, and then still use the head to put other stuff on it, which I think is very useful. It could be fun. And we're all about fun here. get me wrong. Anything you can. Oh, also, and I'm going to be the one to say this too. You can make stuff for kicks and giggles, guys. Like I get a lot of messages and comments sometimes where people are like, "What's the point?" And I'm like, "The point is fun. You can make for kicks and giggles. You don't have to make everything with like a huge purpose to like benefit the world. Sometimes the best benefit you can give is just making it entertaining." I have a few things printing right now. I'm printing out more crawler parts. I'm working on one for a friend for an event that I'm going to next week. But for right now, I'm just making more crawler parts. Like right now, you have to admit, with a square head, this looks pretty cool. You can keep your snacks in there, design it so you can keep little things. Or like, if you have the radio controller working, which I'm hoping to get working pretty soon, imagine having a class and you have like a long table, and then someone's like, "Oh, I want a snack," and you just turn on your robot and have it walk over there and give someone a snack. Just open up the head. Though I'm not sure how the hierarchy of schools are nowadays, but you get the idea. And the other thing that's printing right now are just more parts. Like I'm printing more feet parts and more thigh parts, which are the final leg parts. Oops, let me see if I can click it, if I can show these parts. I have these on the printer right now, and these in the printer right now. So the thigh and feet areas. I had to redesign it from the original Mini Cane project design. I ended up making the base a lot bigger, just so I can hold the board in there. And then I had to redesign these thigh holder areas because the original ones were way too tight and wasn't allowing the servo to move fully. So I got back in here and was like, "Hey, I'm going to fix that by doing this." So far, so good. Also, hi, Alex. I'm not sure if I said that. I don't really have a voice operating module thing. But yeah, so right now I'm in the wrong. Ooh, I designed the wrong area. Right now I'm just designing more head designs out of shapes. So far we've got some pretty good ones. I did a round one, and now I'm doing a square one, and then I'm gonna do some other one designs, maybe a cone. But I just want people to have the choice to be able to customize a crawler. Let's do a bird head. That'd be fun, right? Doing some bird head. Go full chimera with it. I do eventually want to do bipedal robots too. Not yet. I know one person on the internet right now is working on a project called Open Duck. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of that one yet, but it's pretty much the Disney Duck robot, their new XB one that they've been promoting everywhere. Someone redesigned it and made an open source version of it, and it's called Open Duck. So if you have some free time, look that up. It's pretty cool and also hilarious. How far do I want this to go? Right here. I'm also making the hole about 4 millimeters, so I usually use like 3 millimeter screws, like my go-to screws. And then to make sure I don't make mistakes, because this does happen sometimes, turn that off and join. Looks good, looks good. And then to make sure that it folds correctly, which you can think of doing, this is the way I do it because I'm really lazy. I click this, go here. Did I want go all the way to the end like I'm destroying it, but I'm not. What I'm going to do next is turn this off and then cut. Now this design will have, oh, we had to pull there for a second. Delete that and clean this up a bit. It got crazy there for me for a second. Come on, there we go. Now, see, has a lid there now. So if I want to, use move, boop. Choose the body, boop. Choose the area, the axis, See? See, now I can go inside and easily look up and stuff. I think this one would be fun if it like this hatch did a thing by itself. So I may work on this by its side. But yeah, I'm treating, like I said earlier, I'm treating my crawling robots like set up projects now. So the idea is just for me to have a better understanding of how to make things crawl. And once I have this understanding, when next semester hits, which I'm thinking July, because that'll be like summer, blah, 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 winter, we'll do something flying. And if I understand both of those concepts well, I may combine them both to make a flying, crawling robot, in theory. But the box head looks pretty good. I like this. Got the hinge and stuff. I gotta figure out how I'm going to make it like stay down. But problem for future Jay. So currently I have that one, and then this one, and then of course, let's turn that one off. We have the main dome. So you can just kind of see the difference in heads I'm working with. Bam, bam, bam. It's 3, which is pretty good right now. I was told to make a cone for one, so I guess we'll try doing the cone next. Or actually, I'll probably do a round dome. I haven't really done a round dome. The other one's more like a bigger version of this. Let's see if I can do a round dome next. This is pretty much how my days at work goes, except I will have my work computer, and if I get stuck, I get to bother some of my coworkers. But this project is going well. I'm also trying to make sure that this is very, like, at least in my opinion, cheap. I don't want it to be like super costly. I know a lot of the other versions of hexapods and stuff is pretty costly. And I am thinking about price for open source projects because when I was first learning how to do all of this, I was broke. I was definitely struggling. I was taking apart toys from Target and getting their like parts and DC motors and stuff. So I understand that not everyone has the financial resources to get the parts to make cool stuff. So I often think about trying to make it as cheaply as possible for future reference. Okay, we're gonna do this time. We're just gonna highlight all of this time, and what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna extrude it all in one go. Make it super, super, super tall. Have it join. Make sure nothing else I don't want it to stick in. Cool. Now, this looks funny, but it's not part of the main joke here. Take this, make it go down some. I don't like where this little eye is now. It just looks weird. Change the appearance. Very important to change the appearance, in my opinion, because I get confused about certain different things when I'm working. I just want to make this one white. Is that a good one? I'll go for a good one. Let's see if we can get a different color working. Let's see. Which paints do I have? Man, I really gotta add some more paints to this program because paints are pretty much basic primary, and not in the fun way. That's basic. Oh, that's textured. Yeah, I don't need to be textured. It's more like a Jayy. We just did that. That's still basic. Have you tried this one yet? That was the same color it just was. My gosh. I know it's not that important. I shouldn't care about it that much, but I do. Okay, it's one of those weird things. Fine, I'll just make it blue. Yeah. Actually, no. Let's make it red. Oh, sorry, I messed up there. I applied too many faces. My computer's being upset at me. And it kind of works, right? Give it a little double. Well, so far I've been calling them comments. Like they're like a bunch of comments because we get a cluster of them together and they become. I had a good joke for this. You get a bunch of comments together and they become an asteroid field. Ha 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 ha. That was my original idea for it, but not individual names as of yet. Mainly because they're going to be all open source, and I want people to like do their own thing with them in the future. Like if Alex, if you were to build one, I want you to name it your own thing. It's like, oh, it's based off of the comic design that Jay builds, but I call mine so and so, which is always fun. See, the dome design looks cool, but how are we supposed to get in here? You can shell it out. Let's see, 2 millimeters on the inside. I think would be good. Oh gosh, no! It just deleted the entire thing. Oh no, 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 no! Guess I can't shell it that way. I guess we'll shell it a different way from the bottom. Yeah, okay, I can do it from the bottom. That means I'm gonna have to redesign some stuff. And it broke into like 3 different pieces. Okay. Wait, that's too. How's that attached? Like, there's nothing here attaching these 2 pieces. What? What black magic is this? Okay, well, I guess this dome design is going to be a bit more frustrating than I thought it was going to be. We'll go back a bit. I do hope to make some cool other crawling robots in the future. I have a few different crawling robot ideas for the future, but we'll see when we get those. See if I can turn it into a cone. A cone design, maybe. Maybe I got to get a little bit more. There is another way of doing this, which could definitely work, but lazy. Fusion 360, that's the one that I always use. I'm a big Fusion 360 person because I learned it back in college because it was free, and then I got older and now they make me pay for it. But SolidWorks is actually really good too. If you've been following anything my friend Sean has been working on, he has a whole series on how to use SolidWorks to do this. Also amazing individual, Sean Heimel. Sean, if you're watching this and I destroyed your last name, I apologize. In my defense, we don't use your last name often. Yes and no. I visualize them in my head most of the time, but if I get really confused, Hemil. Yeah, Hemil. Is that how you say his name? Last name really? Sean Hemil? Oh my gosh. Sorry, got distracted there for a moment. I visualize them most of the time. Like, I have usually a design in my head, but half the time I have to sketch it out if I can't figure it out in my head. One of these days I'll do a stream with just like my sketchbook so I can show you guys like my work on it. Like, I can show a bit, but I'm not sure how well the camera's gonna pick it up. But like, here's 2 of my favorite pages. Hold on. Like, this is one of my favorite pages in my sketchbook that I was trying to figure out the digit feet, and I had to like sketch it out like over here where I can like figure out how to actually make it work correctly because my original designs were not working. And then like I have like my other notes when I was making the walkers originally, and I'm trying to figure out the walking movement. So like I have like I sketch out the boards, and then like I started to sketch out like the moving patterns on this side. So like I was writing stuff about the code to understand how the code was working. I literally treat each project like a legit like study thing. So it's never just me going in blind. Sometimes I can do it blind, but most of the time I have to like sit down, sketch, and if I get frustrated, I write it down and I try to take notes, and I treat it like a school course pretty much. And if I have any more crazy questions, I can always go to someone because there's always someone who's a lot smarter than me who can help me out with stuff, or even just another pair of eyes. During the original design of Digit, when I was doing his walking method, I kept running into like feet problems, and I couldn't understand like why it wasn't working. And it wasn't until my friend Travis, I had him on. We were doing a call, like a Zoom call type of thing. People still use Zoom? Never. We were on a call, and he pointed out that the feet were moving in weird ways, and I didn't notice it because I've been looking at it for a long time. He was like, yeah, your feet are moving. These 2 feet are moving this way, and these 2 feet are moving that way. And I was like, oh, I didn't notice that, and that helped out a lot. So if you can been catching on, like now you see that I've actually shelled out the inside of it. Oh wait, did it not work? Oh what? Hold on. I thought that worked. Apparently it did not work. Oh my gosh. Oh no, it's not what worked. I think if I shell this design out a bit more, I can like get inside of here. Okay, 5 would have to be it. Nope, still won't work. Okay, that's fine. We'll try another way. I'm just thinking of different ways we can make this work. There's usually like a multitude of ways you can design something and make something work. Because like when I shell it out, you can see on the inside, you can actually like see all this. Zoom in. You can kind of see what's in here. And if I make like a little area here, you can take it on and off, and we can stick stuff in here, and then you can use a round head. But like I said, I just want people to have choices. Person doesn't like me. All right, we're gonna try something different. I'm not giving up, just trying something different. And then right around here. So this is something you can do in Fusion that like I don't see many people do, but I like to do sometimes. So looking up like shapes and stuff is just create a sphere or whatever you need, and then you can edit it in Fusion like this. So like I can take these 2 pieces here and these 2 here, and then modify them, and then push it all the way up. So like I can like sculpt and like make fun little shapes this way because you can control this like really well. It's like cool jello. Boing, 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 boing. But yeah, this is another way of like designing cool stuff. Ooh, probably shouldn't have done that. Bring that back down, please. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up a bit. What I should probably do is just push the entire backside inside of it. Yeah, very important to that. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of different ways to make everything you ever want to make. Like just because I 3D print stuff, you may not be comfortable with 3D printing or CADing. You may want to try like there's people who use Legos. There's people who use paper mache. I've seen robots be made out of all different types of materials. So my way is not the pro bono way of making stuff. I've just found what's most comfortable with me, for me. Also, I like to point out, I've been at this for a very long time, like career-wise. Technically, career-wise, it's only been like 22, 23, about 3 years, technically, full career-wise. Because before this, I was just doing manufacturing. Ooh, that's a cool little design. That's actually a really cool design. I'm feeling that. A lot. The vibe is strong. Okay, so when you finish the farm, and then the spine failed. That happens. Sometimes the design can be too crazy, and then it can't like comprehend what I was trying to do. So it wants me to go back and not do that. Yes. In the emulator. I'm gonna turn that off. Did I break it? I don't think I broke it. But for some reason, that red line won't vanish for us. Huh. I have to reboot this file. Yeah, what is this weird ring? Strange. Yeah, that's a sketch somewhere. It's open. I don't know where that sketch is open at. Sometimes counting is like drawing. You can sometimes be on the wrong layer and don't even know it. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why that line is there. Let me go way back. Hope I didn't break Fusion. Not saying I have broken Fusion before, but I've had my issues with it. All right, let's see if I can save this and see if I can reboot it really quickly. My apologies. I may have done something interesting or not interesting, depending on how you look at it. Because for some reason, it just saved this weird, messed up lining here. And I don't know why. Fascinating. I saved it really quickly. Close it and then open it again. Give me a second. There it is. Wait for it to load. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of different projects of crawling I've been working on, and old digit projects, and old orbit projects when I first designed this head, which I need to get back in orbit. Problem I have with orbit's super huge, and it just takes forever to work on them. No hate, it's just a lot of work. And mostly programming right now, which for everyone who knows me, I'm not a big fan of programming. Programming is still my worst subject. Okay, cool, we're back. Programming is still my worst subject, and I try my best. If I don't have to program, I won't. Like if I can make everything analog and just give it a current and make it work, I would. But I program a lot now. Still not good at it though. Okay, let's see where we're at. Okay, we have that still there. That's still there. I should group those together later. We're doing the dome thing, right? I will think of a way of getting inside this thing easier. So let's try this again. We'll create a mesh. Put it here. Actually, that's fine. Oh, messed that part on. Sorry about that. I should probably put it down the bottom. Also, if you're in LA like I am, there's LA Maker Fair this weekend. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be attending with a few of my friends. I need that many for this one. That should be good. Let's see. Let's play around with some designs a bit. Nope. I have no idea what ROD is. What's ROD? Rod. Read or die? I don't know what rod is. Someone explain what rod is for me. Cone shaped. I'm not sure how pointy we can go with this. But yeah, let me know what. Oh, no, not yet. If I did use a robotic operating system, it would make my life a little bit easier. I've been told this many times before, and ironically, I did get a class to learn that sometime this summer, where I can like learn the robotic operating system. Because if I have a robotic operating system, I can just plug in the values of my crawler and then get a virtual version of them walking, which could have helped in the crawler system working a lot better than it does now. But I did it the boring hard way where I just took a foot, measured out the foot, and then started sciencing my way through it very slowly. It was literally just taking notes, alterating, taking notes, alterating, taking notes, alterating. Wouldn't recommend the way I did it. It took a lot of time, and it was just, I would say it was frustrating, but it was just a lot. All right, what we're gonna do with this? We're gonna make this smaller. But I do want to learn robot operating system. I plan to learn it hopefully sometime soon. I know me and Sean were thinking about doing a collab on it, where he can teach a thing for it, and then I can use my design to make something cool out of it. We'll just work together. You haven't guessed, me and Sean do a lot of projects together, but it's good to have friends who motivate you to learn stuff. This is super thin. I'm not sure how well this is going to print. I may need to see if I can make that bigger or smaller. I think I made the entire design bigger. That's embarrassing. Let's go back a bit. It's a good design, but I have to pull it out some more. I keep forgetting how fun it is to just like mess with the design like this. One of the ways that I had to, one of the skills that make you learn in art school is definitely I had to do sculpting. And once you start doing sculpting in real life, it becomes a lot like that digitally. You kind of just, I won't say you know, but you kind of like know how to mess with certain areas a lot more to get the shape you want, your desired shape. Display though. See the framework. Okay, I could go at it from the inside and try to like make it bigger. But the weird shape of that, it kind of looks cool, right? Like, kind of like a chimney, like Howl's Moving Castle type of stuff. Hmm. Maybe. A lot of this right now I'm doing is playing around. I'm just trying to decide what I want and what I don't want. That did not work the way I wanted it to work. I'm gonna try something different. It's fine. Things happen. It gives me those designs anyway. I'll just start print soon, but wait. Gotta think of another though. I think 3 would be good. Just get the basic, get the cup one. That's done as well. I should probably go into some more artistic design for some other stuff. I do want to fix some of the other dome problems I was having earlier today too. I do need this to be a little bit bigger for more room. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, my original design now has the circuit board actually here, and then the wires all connect through these little holes and stuff. Makes it a lot easier to manage everything. At least I think it makes it easier to manage things. I could be wrong. It could be a lot harder to manage for other people. I do want to see if I can get a few of my friends together and have them assemble it to see how difficult it actually is. But one problem at a time. You already have a lot of problems as is. I like Dome 2 best. Yeah, I think I like this one best. This looks cooler. Even though it's like super huge. really don't know what else I can add to this. I think this could be a cup holder as well, and I think about that. So the weight still will be interesting. Actually, that'd be a fun little design concept. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, where's the top dome here? So my measurements was correct. It was 75. I sometimes do that. Sometimes I just get the basic measurements. It really depends on how lazy I am, because you can get the board stuff from like Adafruit. I've done that a few times. This one I was lazy, so I just took the basic measurements of the feather board and then added it in there. See, like, hear me out. Now, if we leave this hole here and then we can put the batteries on the side, you could, in theory, drop a cup in there and then have it be a coffee cup holder. But at the same time, this thing does rock a lot when it walks. I'm not really sure how well that would actually work as a coffee cup holder, because then it'll spill everywhere. I just talked myself out of that one design. Wow, okay, that happens. It was a good idea in concept, okay? Good idea in concept. But you can also import boards sometimes to do stuff like that. I think I have a few. Did I have to be imported already? I think I did that in my step files. Yeah, like this is the Dark Star matrix here, where I was playing with the Dark Star matrix. In like the Cutie Pie case. So yeah, I've done it a few times. It really depends on how like perfect I try to make it, but I usually don't go for perfection too much. I think perfection is a lie. It's a myth. Perfection is a myth. I stand by that. Yeah, I think it's the basic designs I can think of. I can't think of any more head designs I really want to tackle right now. Let's see. Do I? What could be another fun robot-shaped head? I always think of shapes. Ooh, maybe like an oval one like Baymax. Baymax an oval? He's more like a marshmallow head, right? What do you guys think? Ooh, actually, give me an idea. Okay. Let's hopefully this time I don't break it. I'm not sure it's gonna work, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Okay, cool. Now it's a ball shape. Okay, that will not work. Okay, go back one. We'll modify it. We'll take the bottoms and push the bottoms up a bit. And then we'll go here. Modify again. Push this. Push that in. Connection there for a moment. I'm trying to make the bottom as smooth as possible without breaking everything like I did last time. Last time I broke everything. I don't know how I broke everything, but everything broke. Okay. Next, I want to make a hole. We're going to do this in a lazy fashion. Here, cut it out. Now I have a way in here. Now I can shell it out, hopefully. Oops, no shell. Filler, plug gear, inbox mirror. You would think I would have shell on like key save at this point, but that's shortcuts. Yes. Okay, now we have a way inside this, which is good because this is what I wanted last time. How well it's going to turn out and how I want to get in there and put cool stuff out of it, I have no idea. But you know what? We'll figure it out when we get there. The next step, I'm going to be bringing this down a bit. Sorry. Bringing it down a bit. Put it there for right now. I'm gonna have to redesign the neck, of course. Let's see. Alright, that's like that. Okay, next we're gonna have to give it some. Okay, first let's give it some color because I don't like it being gray. It just bothers me. It's fine. I'm gonna goof off a bit here. Sometimes just planning around is how you come up with the best designs. Put one here. Let's make it. It looks like a Goomba. What's a Goomba? Guys, I'm old. I don't know what a Goomba is. From Mario Brothers? Goomba, 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 Goomba. I don't remember what a Goomba looks like. Let's see. Whoop, slots. Oh, little mushroom guys. Oh, they're called. Oh, right. My gosh. Okay. In my defense, it's been a while since I've actually seen Mario Brothers, or played a Mario game, or played games in general. Okay, I've been very busy. Altimum? Macro what software are you using? I'm using Fusion 360. Fusion 360 is what I'm using, my friend. It's my go-to program. It does kind of look like a mushroom. Actually, that's a good idea. Hold on, sorry. Let me take a step back in my design process. The little brown fellas with big eyes and feet. Yeah, I hear you now. I get it. Definitely. I can see that now. I'll make a copy of this first, just in case. But first, I want to do this. We're going to cut into that. Give it some weird looking eyes. Open it again. Extrude. Consider it a new body. And then slide it back in. See, this is where something interesting because like now it doesn't really fit. So sometimes what I end up doing, which is going to be kind of backwards. So I'm going to stick with me on this. And go all the way back. I have 2 copies of this head now. Just in case, I'm going to make a third one. So I have 3 copies to be safe. And what we're going to do is take this design, go back, cut into the head, but instead of having cut, we're going to use intersect. And okay. So this is the intersecting like visor head thing from it. So let me change the appearance really quickly. Going to make it red. And then I'm going to turn it off. Turn this one back on again. I'm pretty sure there's a much faster way of doing all of this, but like, I'm not that clever. Sorry. Oops. Something's going on. Okay. We'll go and cut through this, all the way through the back. Oop. See? Haha. That's a kind of cool little design there. Yeah, I cannot see the Goomba look now. I cannot unsee it. Bring it down some more. Kind of like a potato. What do you guys think? I mean, it looks cool. I'll give it that much. But yeah, okay. Next, we're gonna try something else. That's gonna be also kind of fun. Oops, too many. I was thinking about making one of these things look like a mushroom, but hold on. I need to see a picture of a mushroom really fast. I don't look at mushrooms often, guys. That's what I do. Okay, yeah, I can make that very mushroom-esque. It's already the right shape, it looks like. Sorry, I didn't see that. What was that, Alex? Tars? Taterbot. That would be a good one. Call it Tater. That's a list of like name ideas for the future. Taterbot, or Tater for short. Okay, so this one we're going to first turn it red. Because let's be real, as I've learned from watching or reading anything Alice in Wonderland, red is where you go when you want to make anything mushroom. Next, we're going to mess with the design a bit. So mushrooms have this little thing on the bottom. I wonder, should we like cut into this and like add that, or should we just leave it alone, add the extra spots? Let's add the extra spots. There's a thing here. I don't know what that's from. Oh, it's from Chronologic Design. This little thing here means there's a sketch open somewhere, and I need to like turn it off. It's annoying me. There it is. Okay. Back to this. We're going to give it some squares, some dots. Try one first just to see if it works correctly. Oh, sorry, confusion was being weird. Let's see. Stretch it first. So I can put that anywhere, but then after I put it there, let me see if I can expand upon that. Not that. Access, remove this access. And then we'll hit it with a whole bunch of them. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to do it again for a higher area. And then we'll turn all those white, and then we'll make it into a mushroom. That one's up there. It's pretty good. Too far. That goes there. Okay, we can make that expand some more. That looks weird enough, right? That's like a mushroom-esque. Look at the appearance some. Give it some light, hit the faces. Ooh, wait, why didn't it work? Weird. I wasn't thinking about mushrooms because Ren Fair is happening, and I was supposed to go last weekend, but I was too busy, too overwhelmed with stuff to stop and go. But some people did go, and I heard it was a good time. The Ren Fair is usually super hot, and Renaissance technology, I have respect for it, but I'm not a Renaissance man, as they would say. The cool thing about this too with the bamboo printer, and some other printers too, I'm pretty sure you can do this with the Cruiser XL because it has a whole bunch of different heads. You can actually put this all in one go using different filaments to get the right colors if you want. Not sure how well that works though. Let's find out. Oops, sorry. There we go. That's kind of cute, right? Mushroom head. Not sure what a mushroom-based looking robot could do, or why you would have one, but you know, options are good to have. I thought it could be doing better though. I thought there's some like design I can like add to this, make it a little bit cooler looking. This is very solid, but it could do better. Let me take off this and the base. No. Keep it longer, yeah. From here. Make a little thing. Gonna take here and then search let's do it down here. Where's it else here? Oh, for some reason it popped up on top. That's a weird place for it to be. I want it to be up there. It's like a horn. Okay, you know what? That's close to where I want, so we'll just keep going and see. If the rotation is off, that's not the right way. Maybe. I kind of like that I extruded it so much because I can kind of see where it's angled at. Oh, there we go. That's a good one. Oh, that's too big. Mushrooms seem to have this weird, like, I don't know what they call it. This is like weird undercarriage area. It's very bumpy down there. I could probably copy that design and add it down there as well. Yeah. So I can take that hopefully, and then we can rotate it around the base, and then have a whole bunch of these weird little things on here. Will they get in the way of the legs? Maybe. But you know, sometimes you just gotta see it through. Circle pattern, select, and then we want a whole bunch of them. More. Okay, I think that's enough. It's about 31. Let's see if the computer can do it. Come on, computer. I believe in you. Also, ironically, I am running a gaming computer when I'm catting because I just needed something that has a good GPU. I need something to differentiate the two boundaries here. So it's kind of like drawing sometimes where you want to like show that these two things are different. You want to have like a stronger line. So what I'm going to do to show that is, ooh, nope, that's bad. We'll go here. We'll go over here. It looks pretty good, right? I'm eyeballing this, by the way. There's no real measurements. And I go here, click this, go over here. All right, so what we're going to do is make a little ring. Around the rosy. As we all fall. Sorry, that popped into my head. That was all the ADHD. And we're going to pop this up a bit. Come on. Nope, I'm not going to cut. We're going to join. Right there. Right. Change the appearance there for that. Ooh. My opponent gets faces. Not what I was thinking, but strangely it works. Yeah, it works. I'm gonna go with it. That looks a lot better as a mushroom now. Now, technically, I don't need all of this, but you know, sometimes you just want to have creative liberties and play around with stuff. I'm not sure if this will actually be something I'll like put out there when I release the final files of everything. Unless people want it. If you guys really want like the mushroom head as well, let me know, and I'll release the mushroom head. This could be like a really cool like design in the future. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of loving this. This would be fun for D&D. If for people who play D&D. Oops. There we go. I unironically really like this one. Oh, it doesn't even have a neck. I don't know how this is going to attach to anything. Want to point that out? All right. I need to figure out how much room we're going to have for this. I need another head detail. Oops, that's not the right detail. Also not the right detail. Oh. Sorry, I got lost in my own thoughts there for a moment. Do this, drop this, here. Now we can go back to the head. And then we're going to pull this down. It's a bit rough, but it'll work. Join it. Oops, sorry, I was in the wrong area for that. Gotta go back really quickly. Okay, boop. Extrude. Okay. New body. So I can kind of see what I'm doing a bit more and then break it down. Okay, that works. All right, we'll cut that off real quickly. Oops, I closed the mushroom man. That's embarrassing. That's fine. We're gonna expand it a bit more. We'll go here and then we can go to base, turn that off, yada yada yada. We'll put a sketch here. Grab this, extrude it. Head it down here, turn it off. Click, 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 click. Cool. So now I know this will actually fit on the body. Now, last thing I have to do is combine these two parts. So I combine this with this. Oh, for some reason, it won't let me combine it. That's fascinating. Join. Oh, that is fascinating. Here's one of the stuff. It looks pretty good. Honestly, went overboard with this design. I was just having too much fun with it at one point. So I'm just gonna have fun. Yeah. I guess I'll call this one the Alice design. What do you guys think? Too much? Too little? Too on the nose? It's too on the nose. Let's see if I can round this out a bit. Ooh, I can. Very mushroom-esque. So everybody went 3 heads already? Let's see, you got the mushroom, the dome, and the cup. Or the square. I'm trying to think of any other cool things I should probably try catting out while I'm here. At this point, I will be printing this on the printers, but currently all 3 printers are preoccupied. I want to do the Baymax looking one that they particular eagles. So put this out here. So we've got a few different heads people can choose from. I really like this one, even though it looks kind of like a gumbo. Actually, can I try it green and see how it looks? I'll just make sure I don't put it in a video game or something. At the same time, I have no idea how I'm going to get inside this design because there's no way inside. Which I could design a way inside, but we'll worry about that later. Dohiga, I can't say that word. A comment here says dodecatron, English. If you guys don't know, English is not my first language, so it's hard for me to do words. Dodecahedron, dodecahedron. It was like a shape. Oh, yeah, we can do that. Man, it took me a lot to figure out that's what you meant. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Can I do a dodecahedron head? It shouldn't be too hard to do a dodecahedron head. I'm sure there's a shape for that already. Quad ball, pipe, face, extrude, sphere, torus, quad ball, a cylinder, a plate, a box. Apparently that's not a normal form people have. Well, I guess we'll do it the boring way. I can make a quad ball. That could have been fun. I've been in different ways I can figure this out. I think there's a tool for that. I want to hit right in the middle here. Sometimes they give me the little strings to see it, but I don't see them, so we're just gonna wing it. And this looks boring. I'm gonna try a different route to do this. Let's see. A sphere. I can't remember how to make a dodecahedron. There was a made dodecahedron. It's not a shape you see often in the universe. The universe kind of favors squares. Technically, it favors spheres, but you know, shapes are weird that way. Drawings of a magnet. I'm going to emboss this one. And good. Here for this time. Face. This face. Cool. Actually, I probably should have done it the opposite way. Nope. Yeah, that's better because that make it easier to do the next step. Drop it down here. Here. Hope it'll forgive me for missing that last piece on the bottom. Let's see. Pattern. Circular pattern. Yeah, we're gonna make a whole bunch of them. I'm not sure if that's gonna work out the way I want it to work out. May have to get clever with it. Infinite dodecahedron. I have to try a different one. Pattern geometric. Nope, that's not the right way of doing it. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized what I did wrong. We're an hour, 30 minutes, 37 minutes in. Wow, man, time flies. We're having fun, huh? There we go. Another one. Just gonna add a symmetry. A little bit smaller. Now what we're going to do is connect the five, at least five, I think. I think five would do it, right? Yeah. Maybe too big. And we'll risk it. No risk, no reward. I think that's what they say. I really don't know. Can I just go circle tile with this? Oh. That's all that. Ooh, pretty simple, but not what I wanted. Oh. Didn't know I could do that. That's new to me. Anyway. Alrighty, and then I want to do it here. If I can match two more here, then I could emboss into the ball itself and then just delete the inside. In theory, like I said, I've never really made a dodecahedron. It's not a design that pops up often in my work. But I welcome a challenge. You'd be surprised how many weird shapes you end up having to design. Cool. Etch a sketch. Now for the next part. Let's hope my computer is strong enough to read everything. Cool. On to the next step. So that's the ball. Ooh, got an error. Maybe something is wrong. Okay, so I'll do it with one. Let's see how many I add more. Oops. Come on, do we have more sketch profiles? Actually, if I try it this way, maybe. Oops. Shouldn't have done that. With two faces. So this one won't move. The heck? Oh, it still thinks it's the same shape. Man, the dodecahedron is actually kind of difficult to make. Who knew? No, or not difficult to make. Let's see how that works. Oh, let me read your face. Yeah, I don't think a dodecahedron is happening. Besides, I wouldn't have any place to put all the parts inside of it. The dodecahedron is really empty. There was a friend of mine who made a dodecahedron ball LED recently, which is really nice. Guess I'll just finish cleaning up some of the other designs. Yeah, we don't need that anymore. Delete. Scroll button. Much better. Definitely gonna have fun with that one later. For some reason, I still want to combine these two. Oh, there we go. Combined. This is a full-on piece now. I don't know about the mushroom head though. I may put it in the main files. We'll see. Let's rename this mushroom head. It's a fun idea. Maybe I'll make one for right there. I like this is where we're going, but they're still missing a few different things. Where's the stick? Yeah, no, that's a horrible place to put the stick. stick. And we're going to sketch here. Ironic gives us more like an alien to me now. Probably because the green. Actually, I said out loud, why don't I, for kicks and giggles, look at Ninja Turtle. That looks like a Ninja Turtle, Raphael. I guess you can call it a Ninja Turtle head in some ways. I don't know, man. I think it's because the color is green. I think if I change the color to something else, it would be different. Like if I just change this to purple, then it's Donatello, which is the best of the Ninja Turtles, and I will die on that hill. Donatello is the best Ninja Turtle. And then if I put some like lights up here too, when I'm scrolling around, I can have like a little light show, or like flashlight like path. That's a cool little design. I like that. I may add that to the color design list too. So there'll be a whole bunch of different heads for this. So I admit, I like this one the best. It's very characteristic, which I enjoy. Even though I really try to avoid using two eyes like design, but this works. This works. Now I'm gonna have to find a way to get in the back of it. So I guess we can do that now. Still got like what, 10-ish, 11 minutes-ish. I'm just gonna make a back panel here. That way, if necessary, we can get inside of this and put batteries and stuff in there. Which I may make this one of the main designs. Who knows? Who knows? I actually may try that and make a poll or something, because this is going to still take a while before it gets released. But if I get the other heads together, I may like either release them all or just make a poll being like, which ones do people want? There we go. Because if no one, depending on what people want, depends if I'm going to go out of my way and like make them fully functional. Yeah, I can make a back panel here with like screws. People can go in and like mess with batteries and stuff. So far, the batteries have always been in the head. I'm very much the type of person that likes to put the batteries in the head, mainly because it has the most room on this design, and also I enjoy in sci-fi movies when you take the robot's head and the battery turns off. So that could be my own human bias. But yeah, got a whole bunch of head designs here. So hopefully people can decide which ones they like the best or don't like, and then we can go from there and combine these. Oops, I clicked the wrong one, sorry. Oh my gosh, I am dropping the ball here. There we go. Combine this with this and this. Cool. One head. So it's this one Probably should call this one Alien Head. That way I know. All right. I didn't do anything with done before, so move done before somewhere where it's out of my way. Could delete it, but I'll keep it just in case. I thought I had a different one working. That's the normal lid, sorry. So you have the one that's a box, which is really good. Personally enjoy that. That way we can put stuff in the head and see if it's strong enough to walk around with it. That may be a good test to see how strong the servos are, depending on what servo you're using. Then we have the alien head that's just cool looking because it just looks cool. Stand by that. Where's the visor? There it is. Name this alien head visor. I like the visor would be better laser cut it, but that's just me. I don't think it'll look good being 3D print it. Got the mushroom head. I thought I did a different head too. Where's that one? Oh, and this one. Yes. Dome 2. I like Dome 2 because it's really huge. Like, I kind of want to just do this one probably next, just because I would love to see if this thing can actually crawl. Besides, who doesn't like having a robot with a big head and itty bitty legs? It just makes everything cute. Things that have huge heads and little bodies are just adorable. Design-wise, of course. Plus, I've been wanting to use other screens, like LCD screens, and I can easily stick an LCD screen in here and like start animating stuff for it. Depending though, like I said, with more room, it gives me more ability to do stuff, but at the same time, it's still a weight issue, and I have to worry about how heavy it is and if it's strong enough to actually crawl. Trust me, depending on what servos you use, especially because I'm using very small ones, so definitely depending on how strong your robot is, and it also depends on how it can walk. Compared to using like wheels that could just use, basic physics, centrifugal force and gravity to roll. This would take a lot more leg strength, which could also be a reason to make flatter feet, like the original version of the mini one had. It was like flatter feet. I did the pointed feet for my design because I needed more lift for it to walk better, and also it's easier to make the rubber footing with it. I've been using what is it? Rubbing glove. I think it's rubbing glove, but the little rubber stuff you can put on like handles to make the feet a little bit more strong for walking. But I may have to try like a silicone mold or something in the future, because that is something I've been running into, which is a definite problem, but I'm not going to go crazy about it. Cool. But I do my best. But yeah, it's definitely going to be my next open source project. I'm hoping to get it out soon. I know we're coming to an end here soon in about 6 minutes. Is there any other questions someone want to ask me as the clock steadily runs out and I go back from hiding from my DMs as I do other stuff? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Yeah. Still like the basic designs best. I think the basic designs go a lot better. And then we'll see what else we get to later on. I still want to do one more big crawling project after this one, but I still don't know what it's going to be. I was thinking of a hermit crab, because then I can make something that's just using its front feet to crawl, and then having just a ball bearing in the back that'll actually keep the shell up and just rolling on the floor. But to do that will take more time in the future, and I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. But I need to do a test for myself, a design that will allow me to actually figure out to see if I've mastered the understanding of making something crawl, because there's little things you have to think about when making things crawl, like how it walks, how many legs it uses. Ironically, there's two different trots that I use for this hexapod, these the comic crawlers. One is a big trot where it just moves up 2 legs each time and walks pretty fast. That's like the basic one I use. But I switched that up to a climbing trot, so it actually increases its lift a bit. so I can climb over stuff. Which I use that one a lot in my videos because my desk is really people see my desk. My desk is super, super, super just filled with stuff constantly. So the climbing trot actually helps it climb over stuff, but it also pushes things around. So I'm not usually happy having these guys running around my screen too much. Here's what it is. It should be fun though, regardless. Right, put the normal head back on. First stone. No. The normal stick back on. What is it? Oh, yes. This is the basic one. This one is pretty nice. But I just want to have people. I want people to have the ability to choose different heads in the future if you want to customize it more. I may do some more customizations. I'm not sure which ones I should be able to do. We'll see. We'll see. Ironically, there was a person I was watching yesterday who made a hexapod with 4 legs, but their legs had a knee joint. Mine technically doesn't have a knee joint. And thanks to that knee joint, it allowed their hexapod to roll up into a ball, and that was super cool. So I may attempt something like that in the future, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Time is a weird soup, and I need to focus on the next week, which will be Fresh Robotics. That should be fun. It should be fun to see all the people competing and interested in robotics. Of course, with DGK here. Actually, I should probably switch that color. I made it purple last time because of obvious reasons, but it's in a purple. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, coming to a close in like 2 minutes here, so guess I'll start doing my little goodbyes. Thank you all for joining me. It has been super fun, honestly. I want to do more lives. I'm definitely going to do my best to do more lives. That way I can do other stuff. I appreciate you all, and I really hope you guys have a good rest of your day. If you guys have any questions for me. Yeah. Oh, actually, I have another minute. I was early. My bad. Robot, do a dance or something. Let's see if that actually works on my head. Huh. Yeah, do your dance, robot. Do your little dance. This is how we end the stream, just robot dancing time. Ironic, that was nice. That's like a massage. That's unironically very nice. That's very nice. Would you ever let a robot tattoo you? Do you answer that one? I didn't answer that one. I don't think I probably would, honestly, but like, I'm not a fan of getting just tattoos randomly, but yeah, I probably would. I know Emily, the engineer, builds a tattooing machine. If they bring it to open source, we'll talk. We'll talk. Anyway, that's all the time I have, guys. It's been fun, and I hope you guys have the rest of your afternoon.